Well, dear students, I welcome you for the next video session of the switching system software, that is module 4. So, myself Kiran Nandi, working as assistant professor ECE department HGBIT Belgaum. So, in today's video we shall discuss with the topic called as feature flow diagrams. The feature here employed in a digital switching system are very complicated. The flow diagram is used to understand the functionality of the system, and some of the common feature is existing in this feature flow diagram is call forwarding. The call forwarding feature can be used by any subscriber. Now, in this call forwarding, it exists in 3 different modes. That is feature activation, feature operation, feature deactivation. So, let us move on to the next slide, which represents the flow diagram of call forwarding. So, basically what is a call forwarding? The call forwarding is one of the facility available in a telecommunication which helps in connecting a subscriber to other subscriber whenever the called number is busy or whenever the called number is out of network coverage area. So, in the first thing here we shall see what is a feature activation. The flow diagram here represents the feature activation. Now, this feature is activated only when the subscriber goes off hook and dials an activation code. So, in order to check the feature activation here, the customer goes off hook condition first. Now, once he goes for a off hook condition, then he dials an activation code. Now, this activation code is nothing but the other number to which the call needs to be forwarded or diverted whenever the called number is out of coverage area or whenever the mobile or the called number is switched off or there may be any poor network connectivity. Now, after this, once the dial activation code is activated here, the system software checks the validity of it. So, the validity in sense whether the called number is existing or what. If the called number is not existing, then it gives the information of rejected call forwarding activation. That is, the connectivity gets failed here or the establishment of connection to the called number during the call forwarding process gets failed. If the number is valid, then it provides a second dial tone, then starts the ringing to the called number. Now, once it starts ringing, the system records call forwarding number and activates the call forwarding. Now, this is one of the feature which is available in order to connect a subscriber when he is in off hook condition or because of any network failures. So, the next point here is what we are going to see is about feature operations. Now, this is the flow diagram of a feature operation for all call forwarding. Now, here when a subscriber receives a call on the line that has call forwarding feature activated, the system rings the called subscriber. Now, once rings called subscriber once and then forward the call to the number stored during feature activation. That is, basically what happens is whenever an incoming call arrives to the subscriber. So, first of all it checks does the line is call forwarded activated. If it is not activated, then as usual it proceeds with the normal call processing. Now, suppose if it is activated, then what happens, the call gets first of all diverted to the voicemail services which is existing in a telecommunication. There we get the information like to the called subscriber, to the calling subscriber, that is the called subscriber has forwarded all his incoming call to any of the other existing numbers. Then a ringing called number will begin. So, once the ringing of a call forwarding begins, then it starts simulating the call forwarding dialed number. Now, at that moment it checks the called forwarding number and tries to get connected to that subscriber during that condition. Now, after this there is one more feature called as deactivation. So, the call forwarding feature can be deactivated when the subscriber goes off hook and dials deactivation code. Now, for this what happens here is first of all the subscriber has to go off hook condition, dial call forwarding deactivation code, that is the number what he want, the unique number what he want to disconnect the facility of the call forwarding. Now, once he dials that number, then it checks the validity of that particular number, whether the dial number is genuine or what, or it is one of the unique identification code what we call it as. Then if it exists, then what happens, it deactivates and off the condition. Suppose the validity, while checking the validity, if the number is not existing, then it rejects the call forward deactivation. Now, this is what we see in feature deactivation code. So, basically the feature activation is activated when the customer goes off hook and dials the activation code, and the software later checks the correct validation of that code, and if the activation code is wrong, the subscriber does not get any second dial tone and straight away the call gets disconnected. And if the number is active, then the subscriber A will get connected with the subscriber B by a call forwarding telephone number. Now, once they get connected, then the subscriber B will start receiving a ringing current and ringing tones. Now, in feature operation, suppose the subscriber receives a call on the line that has call forward feature activated, the system rings the called subscriber. Yes, as I told, if the subscriber B is existing with the call forwarding feature, then once he receives any call, then it's it checks the validity of that call forwarding number, then helps in trying to connect through a call forwarding facility. Now, deactivation is nothing but again checks the deactivation code, that is whether the unique code what he has entered during the activation of the call forward is existing or what. Then if it exists, then it simply disconnects the facility of call forwarding, else it rejects the facility. Now, this is what happens in feature deactivation. Now, here are some of the feature questions, very important questions, that is, here we are concentrating on 3 levels of software architecture. We are explaining some of the concept called as on the software linkage during a call with a need diagram, then basic software architecture, basic call model, and some of the flow diagram discussed during a call forwarding features. So, these are some of the important questions which may arrive for the examination purpose. Then one more is there, that is draw a need diagram of the basic software architecture. Then draw the basic software architecture of a typical digital switching system and explain the brief with the database management and a generic program. And the question is also asked on some of the call features, etc. So these are some of the questions which are raised in the examination purpose, for during the examination purpose. So I hope all these questions, answers for these questions are being covered in my previous videos. Thank you.